Trying to get this thing up. Oh, yo. How are you guys doing? It's me. It's somebody just gonna unplug this thing. It's me, your boy, True Armor. How you doing? I hope you're having a good mo- Monday. A notification. Hope you're having a good Monday. It rained here. I like the rain, and it really rained in California. So, wow. So apparently, we're supposed to have this kind of weather all week, which is bomb cyclone, which sounds honestly like the best party, right? It was cool. How cool, man! It was a bomb cyclone of a party, right? It sounds like a very cool thing to be a part of the bomb cyclone ness of whatever the heck we're doing. But apparently not. Apparently, California has mudslides and all this other stuff. I mean, it had been on fire for like a year, and from what I understand, um, for it to burn out so you could kind of like have regular fires again, that place is gonna have to burn for like 5 years straight. Some goofiness like that. And it just makes you go, what? And then it makes you like if you gotta like open your mind and think about it, it makes you think about when there were no people here before Europeans or before the Indians on the East Coast knew about the Indians on the West Coast kind of thing, right? Uh that place must have just nobody was trying to put it out, a lightning strike, and it just burned. How long did it burn? You know what I mean? Just unmolested, just you know, burn acres and acres and acres and acres, all of California, like right. And then the rains will come and then put it all out. Then there'd be mudslides or whatever, and the whole place will settle down, sort of like you, like after you go to bed, and then in the middle of the night, you kind of like you're still, but then like you wrestle and you readjust yourself and you roll back over and then you settle back in and then you fall back asleep. It's that kind of like weather pattern shit. But the earth tumbling like that is you know, it's huge. Think about, hey man, how you doing, William? Think about how many birds and squirrels and random critters got caught up in it, up in trees or locked in, just like could not escape the circle they were in, whether that circle was a mile that shrank down to nothing. Some could outrun it, right? Some, I mean, that's just the way it is. There was a pilot found in the woods. Yeah, let's look at that because that sounds crazy. Why was he in the woods? Naked pilot found in the woods. The jet in the woods, May 21, 2008. Wait, is this new? This is yesterday. All right, because the other thing said 1999, 9 hours ago. Emergency crew provide details about deadly plane crash in Collington County. Deputy said the pilot had been ejected from the plane and was badly dot dot dot. That implies he's alive. An emergency crew. Hold on, let's fire this thing up. Uh yeah, so let's get the intro before we start a run at this. I am your man, your homie, I'm your boy, your truest armor. Like and subscribe. It helps the channel. True Armor here, Truest Armor on YouTube, Karma Arma ARMA on Twitch. Um, yeah. So there was a plane crash in South Carolina that I'm just hearing about. October 25th, 2021, 9:18 a.m. Updated today, 10:35 a.m. So they updated it an hour and 15 minutes later, almost exactly. Uh, an hour and like 32 minutes later. Emergency crews in Walterboro shared new details about a small plane crash that happened in the woods n- near Round O Friday afternoon. Excuse me, what is Round O? A crash that happened in the woods near Round O Friday afternoon. Collington County Fire Rescue said they received a special report from Low Country Regional Airport regarding a plane crash near Round O and Augusta Highway just after 4 p.m. 5 deputies with the Collington County Sheriff's Office arrived to assist fire rescue crews in their search for the wreckage. And a resident who lived nearby flagged them down, saying her husband was at the crash site in the woods and was yelling for help. See, this is what the community does for you. You're looking, they're like, hey, over here, because my husband found this, right? The more your department is crappy, the less help you get from the common man on the street. This was not a plane crash. He was a missing airline executive. This is a plane crash that we're looking at. Deputy said the pilot had been ejected from the plane and was badly injured. He was eventually airlifted. 24-year-old female passenger was found dead on the plane. Wow. Okay, so this isn't it, but man, that's sad. Hold on. Jake Cecilia, right? Yeah, right. Pilot. June 21, 3 weeks ago, 1 month ago. Warsaw in loving memory. Yeah, we're not getting anything about it. Jake Cecile. Oh, what is this? Images of Jake Cecilia pilot. But why would he not be in the news? Why is he? What if we clicked on one of these pictures? What happened to Jake Cefolia, missing United executive? Okay, let's look up that Cefolia. Folia. Okay, what happened to him? What happened to Jake Cefolia? NBC Chicago. Human remains found in forest identified as missing United Airlines executive who went missing in 2020. Yeah. Oh, when you said found in the woods, I thought he was wandering around in the woods. I was like, why is your pilot wandering around in the woods? What did he was he wanted for embezzling or did he just disappear? Because one is like, oh man, I'm going to jail. I can't go to jail. And the other one is like, I hate to say, but standard suicidal stuff where people feel they can't take it anymore for whatever reason, even as they have everything you would love to have, right? Living in a nice place, got a lovely family, got a big education, got a big job, you know, for some reason they feel empty or whatever. The mystery behind Jake Cefolia's disappearance reached a tragic point over the weekend as officials identified remains found at a suburban Chicago forest preserve as a missing United executive. But what actually happened to him? Here's a look back at what we know about the case. Who wrote this? That was a pretty nice lean in. Robert Stanford and Lisa Capitanini. Capitanini. Rob Stafford and yeah, that whole. Let's look back and see what we know about the case is pretty nice. That's what is going on here. Oh, I knew I didn't do something. All right. Um, We am I was supposed to be on a podcast today. I don't know if I don't think we actually even cleared if I was going to do it. Uh, what time is it? All right, we've been streaming for 10 minutes. We're gonna go an hour, and then I'm gonna check. Well, the show's only an hour and 15 minutes. I guess I'm stressing about nothing. All right, let's get into this thing. I'm also trying to stay closer to this side when I read. This whole room has to be shifted. I know. Let's pack my Gandalf height. Ugh. You know, as I age, I still feel the mind view of I guess how I've always felt. So I guess age is only in your body and in your head, right? I guess I should be doing what? What should I be doing at this age? I should be complaining about the young people and the music. All right. His ex-wife. Here's your problem. Maybe that's it. That thing you're building was built on sand. When was Jake Sifolia's last seen? In the years before Jake Sifolia, 49, was reported missing on August 8, 2020, he seemed to live the jet-setting lifestyle of a newly divorced telegenic tiger executive at United Airlines. Telegenic means he's really handsome. Well, you know what? When we run across words like that, we always look it up. Let's look it up. Telegenic.
Telegenic. Telegenic.
Having an appearance or manner that is appealing on television. Uh, Hence the telly. Photogenic, telegenic, yeah, we know. As a senior vice president of worldwide sales, Sifolius traveled the globe from Hong Kong to Singapore to London and Tel Aviv. Police and court reports obtained by NBC5 investigate shows him signing up for OKCupid meeting. I'm sorry, signing up for OKCupid. I don't know what that is. What is OKCupid? What is it? OkCupid is a US based internationally operating online dating, friendship, and formally formerly also a social networking website. It featured multiple choice questions to match members. Registration is free. Okay. OkCupid. Okay. I thought it was like a gay men's dating site or something. Um I knew okay. Got Cupid in the name. Meeting one Meeting one girlfriend on a Bumble in Chicago. What the fuck is the Bumble? Bumble. Bumble is an online dating application. Okay. Meeting one girlfriend on Bumble in Chicago, dating another woman in San Francisco, staying at the Ritz Carlton Marina Del Rey in California, and dining at the Hula Grill in Honolulu with a tab of $528. But last but the last purchase Ophelia ever made on his Chase credit card was $59.50 for gas at a Shell station on Butterfield Road near his Elmhurst home in Illinois. A grainy video from the gas station camera shows Ophelia wearing hiking boots, cargo shorts, a dark colored shirt, and dark colored baseball cap while pumping gas in his gray Range Rover. His car was later captured by a traffic camera at 9:23 a.m. going westbound on Butterfield Road at Commonwealth. I guess those are the streets. Elderly neighbors told police he was 60 to 70% sure he saw Sifolia's Range Rover leave just before noon. This was the last sighting of Jake Sifolia. Did you find out that he owed anybody money? Did you find out that one of these girls was the wife of a mobster? Did you find out that, I mean, crime of opportunities happen too? Uh, I mean, you gotta. I mean, did you look and see if he was depressed and he was on medication and he had confided in close friends? I mean, This article is leaving just what triggered Jake's disappearance. All that is good questions. Uh, on August 6th, ex-wife told 9/11 dispatchers. On August 6th, the day before Sophia vanished, NBT5 investigations learned that Elmhurst police showed up at his house with a search warrant. According to police detective, according to police reports, detective notes that they were there to search and collect package evidence. Elmhurst police declined to comment on the investigation, and Sophia has never been charged with crime. Okay, the day before he vanished last year, the cop showed up with a search warrant. What is package evidence? What is that? Evidence packing involves specialized packing method and material used for physical evidence packaging. What what is this is all about properly packing your evidence. Evidence packaging involves a specialized packaging method and material used for physical evidence. Yeah, we know that, but this is detective notes show they were there to quote unquote search and collect slash package evidence. So what is they were searching and collecting, but what is package evidence? What does package mean? Elmhurst police declined to comment on the investigation and said was never charged with a crime. How long was he when did he go missing? Last year? Wait, did he go missing last year or this year? You know, I'm asking a lot of questions. I should just read the story. Okay. Um, let's just read the story. Uh, a grainy video from the gas station camera shows Sofolia wearing hiking boots, why would you wear boots and shorts? A dark colored shirt, dark colored baseball cap. His car was later captured 9:23. An elderly neighbor told police he was 67% sure he saw Sofolia's Range Rover leave before noon. That was the last sighting of Jake Sofolia. What triggered Jake Sofolia's disappearance on August 6th, the day before Sofolia vanished? I'm assuming this is this past August, the day before Sofolia vanished. NBC investigate and learned that Elmhurst police showed up at his house with a search warrant. According to police, detectives were down there to search and collect package evidence. Um, Elmhurst police declined to comment. Didn't we just read that? Guess not. Guess not. Good lord. All right. Uh, it's like in it's unlikely that it's coincidental that he disappeared the day after the search, said retired Chicago homicide detective Bridget Shack, who now teaches criminal justice at a local university. It's unlikely that his disappearance, it's unlikely that it's coincidental, right? Okay, that's what he's saying. It's unlikely that it's going that he disappeared the day after the search. Uh yeah, I would say that too. Whatever they're looking for or whatever they found might have triggered something for him to take off. Sefola's Range Rover Sport was later seen parked in the early morning hours of August 8th outside the Water Glen Forest Preserve in Lamont. An avid runner, Sefola used to run and hike the trail at the forest. The car's license plate was run by DuPage County Sheriff's twice, once at 1:13 a.m. and again at 4:07 p.m. But Sefola had not been reported missing. Nothing came up. Yeah, it was probably the only car in the lot, and they ran the plates, which made sense. It is stolen. They probably looked around it with a to see if even if it wasn't reported, to see if it was the lock was jimmied or someone or maybe somebody was asleep in it, right? Then you just saw a nicely parked mint Range Rover, and you went about your business. Came back 3 hours later, noticed it was still there. Then you're like, we checked it already once, but let's run it again just to see if someone did report it missing. And then you run it again, no one still reported missing. You go, Maybe he's having, could be having an affair. I'll park my car here. I'll go with you, and you'll drop me off here, and I'll pick it up tomorrow. All right, no problem. No harm, no foul. We're on our business. But now you're in the system as having placed this car here at these two times on this day, right? Um, 1:13 a.m. and again at 4:07 a.m. But the Safeli had not yet been reported missing. Nothing came up. Later that afternoon, Safolio's ex-wife Christine called 911 to report him missing, telling operator that she had not heard from Jake since August 6th. I've left him with multiple text messages, emails, nothing. She's told 911 dispatchers. Something is absolutely not right. He's acting out of character, X told 911 dispatchers. Safolio's former wife, who called 911 to report him missing, told police there's someone to his house for dinner and told her his father seemed extremely drunk. According to the police report, that was just hours after police searched the home on August 6th. Their son went to his house for dinner and told his mom, Dad was really drunk when I showed up there, Ma. According to police, that was the day. So the cops raid you. I guess you make some phone calls to some people, but it's still in your head, right? I mean, think about this. These guys have a different life, right? All their friends are swanky and rich and cool and chilling. And then they're here at the golf club or the tournament or the executive washroom. So and so got arrested. What was he doing? I mean, it's it's a scandal, right? Um, some people whole lives are built on this. I've got a nice house, I got a nice wife, and then bam, you get a divorce, and that really fucks with your head. And then you lean into doing something stupid, but you think you're all right, and then bam, that blows up in your face. Whether that be an affair or like fucking with drugs, and all of a sudden you have a drug problem. Like all these things, how people come undone. God only knows what the cops were looking for at his house, right? It's not work related because work would have said we fired him like that lawyer. So I wonder what they were looking. We asked all the right questions on this podcast because we were asking 2 days ago, why is there a live round on this set? And did you hear what happened about the fuckery? Um, and it's looking like the guy who handed it to him. I was like, why is he handing this gun to? He he's an executive producer, right? I think, but he's also uh the producers have responsibilities, obviously. The gun girl is his responsibility. The 25-year-old gun girl is his responsibility. She's the armorer is under him, but everybody's under the producer, which is Baldwin. Uh, let's finish this. Excuse me. Sifola's wife called not he was exceedingly drunk. That was just hours after police searched his house. A United Airlines pilot friend told police that Sifola had been under immense stress during the coronavirus pandemic, taking a 50% pay cut while still paying the same amount as agreed to in their divorce settlement. Now he's dead, and there is what his insurance policy. Not if he killed himself. Hey, don't drive the golden calf to suicide, ladies. I'm sorry, that was just mean. That was the implication of that was full of shit, and I really do apologize. I was trying to be funny and quip it and stupid. I just leave that shit to fucking the comedians. Uh, yeah, sorry, I really am. And the guy's dead. You don't need to make fucking stupid comments about it. Uh, yeah, I apologize. I'm sorry. The Fresno police, Cefilio was worried because he was in charge of laying off a large number of United employees due to the economic shutdown. So he had to lay all these people off. As he's feeling economic strain, right? Maybe it sat with him. A girlfriend of Cefilia's described their relationship as on and off again. Police report. There's no such thing as an on again, off again relationship. It's just you get together and you fuck, right? It's like I love you and I don't love you anymore. I love no, right? What is this? On again, off again is a 1970s phrase when nobody wanted to admit that everybody was fucking. It's like in the 50s when everybody used the word dating. Like, what does dating mean? You know what I mean? Dating means we're sleeping together. On again, off again. Probably because they weren't in the same country, or he wasn't in the. If they were, he wasn't in town long enough because he's a pilot, right? And they just say he was in Hawaii and all these other great places. And police, she told police that he was getting therapy, and whatever happened was not planned. And you know this why? He was in therapy. The search for Sophie began and ends. Once the missing person report was filed, DuPage County Forest Preserve officers identified Sophilia's car. Everybody's got a police department. The DuPage County Forest Preserve officer. Oh, good lord! All right. Um, Sophilia's car. Police report. Okay. Once the missing person report was filed, DuPage County Forest Preserve officers identified Sophilia's car. Yeah, they put his license plate in the thing and it bounced, so this was the last place it was parked. Police report that a COVID face mask was hanging from the steering wheel. A gray pullover was left in the back seat, and a golf bag with a set of clubs and $120 in cash were found in the trunk. A search team with bloodhounds was put together using Sopholia's pullover and a pair of glasses as scents for the dogs to search the woods. The bloodhound tracked the scent southeast from where the SUV was parked, but lost the scent 20 yards in and stopped, according to police. That is an amazing thing. More than 1,000 man hours of searching at Winter Glen Forest Preserve and surrounding areas have been done by multiple Illinois police agencies by foot, air, and without success. Hundreds of volunteers have searched as well. Search and rescue teams with bloodhounds and cadaver dogs have not led to any discoveries. Months later, little hope remained. Without anything surfacing in 12 months about Jake, okay, so he did this last year. I think it's the likelihood that he's alive is very remote. Just because something would have surfaced, said Schleck. If you live that kind of lifestyle, there will be a money trail of some sort. Police report indicates that Safolia's passport, credit card, and financial accounts have not been used or accessed, and there has been no significant withdrawal before his disappearance. Nor, yeah, see, that's a capper right there. This sentence is the capper. Uh, No significant withdrawals before his disappearance, nor has there been contact with family or friends ever since. Right. So if I did something bad and I'm going to skip out, I need money. So first I'm going to empty my bank accounts, and when they look, they go, "Yep, he emptied all his bank accounts. He's on the run." Right. That's the first sign. If I'm just despondent, I'm just leaving all that shit and wander out into the hinterland and maybe be eaten by a bear or fall off a cliff, or they'll run across my corpse in like 2 years or whatever the case may be. But they'll know he didn't take anything, and his car is here in this graveyard or by this bridge or wherever people do these dark things to themselves. Police report that Sophia's passport, credit cards, and financial accounts have not been used or accessed. There's been no significant withdrawal before his disappearance, nor has there been contact with his family or his friends. Right? Police checked on Sofolia's MetLife insurance policy from United Airlines for $770,000, dated June 1st, 2012. Police most insurance policies have disclaimers for suicide that last a year or two. It doesn't negate the insurance, huh? It just means you can't go buy a policy on Monday and take care of yourself and collect a bunch of money, Stack said. But you have to be declared legally dead to collect insurance, and that could take 7 years. Oh, I didn't know that. All right, so okay. I didn't know that. I think I spit something. But that makes sense. 1 year later, whatever trouble Toffoli was in, whatever trouble Safolia was in remains a secret. And the man who's been just about everywhere now was nowhere to be found. It wasn't until Friday that a break in the case was first discovered. Human remains were discovered at Waterfall Glen Forest Preserve. DuPont County Forest Preserve Police said they notified late Friday morning by a contractor at Waterfall Glen Forest Preserve that potential human remains have been discovered in the 700-acre site. So they were doing construction of it, and they stumbled on them. The contractors uh, were removing invasive species in the area where they came across the human remains hanging from a low hanging tree. So he wandered out into the woods and he hung himself. And then he hung there for a year in all the weather and the rain. So yeah, that just tells me a lot. Um, the contact were moving based species, human remains hanging from a low hanging tree. The remains were found in an area that had been searched multiple times, but one that has dense tree canopy, very thick briar, and dense vegetation. It was not near where police found Cifolia's vehicle parked. On Sunday, the remains were identified as Cifolia's. DuPage County Coroner Richard Jurgensen identified Cifolia 50 after examining his dental records during autopsy. 50? Wait, no, 49. He died last year. You said he was 49 at the beginning of this thing. Why did you age him if he's dead? Jake Cifolia, 49. I knew I wasn't fucking crazy. What are you guys doing to me here? Oh, all right, fine. Um, where were we? Jeez, these people make me fucking crazy. Where were we? 700,000 insurance policy. Legally dead to collect. Blah 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 blah. DuPage. 700 acre. Da, 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 da. The remains were found hanging from a tree. All right. DuPage County Coroner Richard Jorgensen identified Cifolia 50 after examining his dental records during an autopsy. Uh, we were sad to hear the news about our former colleague Jake, and our thoughts are with his family and friends during this difficult time. United Airlines said in a statement, and we remain grateful for the support and the prayer that so many of our employees, including Jake's coworkers, have shared with one another on his behalf and over the past year. Mystery of what happened to Jason Fuller continues with key questions still unanswered. The key questions still unanswered, like why was there a search warrant issued on him? Yeah, I get that, but I think what happened to him is fairly evident, right? He hung himself in the woods. Mystery of what happened to Jake Cifolia continues with key questions still unanswered. While one crucial piece of the puzzle was found Friday, question over what exactly happened to Cifolia remains unanswered. The coroner has not yet determined a cause and manner of death. He was hanging from a tree in the woods. According to a release, and the case remains under investigation. Okay, I'll give you that. Police noted that Cifolia was found hanging by a belt from an uprooted tree. Hanging by a belt from an uprooted tree. His wallet, driver's license, and backpack with personal items were at the scene, according to Peterson. On behalf of the Forest Preserve District, I would like to send our sincere condolences to his family and his friends. Peterson said in a statement. We hope that this still at least brings close to his family and his friends. So, you left behind teenage twin boys and a girl. Okay, first of all, let's look up uprooted tree. Because does that mean it's root it's completely over or it's leaning? Ah, okay. Well, look at this. So they're saying, let's get an image. They're saying he hung himself from one of these branches. He climbed up, I guess. He could access, like, let's look at this one, right? He could access, like, walk up this thing, tie a rope around here, and then hung himself, right? This is a low hanging branch. So then they probably found him hanging maybe 4 feet off the ground, 3 feet off the ground, maybe less, right? Uh, with his backpack and shit nearby. Animals didn't get to him though. That's amazing. After a year. Huh. All right. Wow. What could he possibly have done? They searched his house. So if they searched his house and took evidence, it couldn't have been work related. Fraud, maybe, right? But they would have arrested him. What were they investigating? Could have been sexual assault, right? They went by A lady said his bathroom looked like this. Well, no, that's to take stuff. And then they went DNA. And it's oh man, I don't even know why they would search your house. One more surgeon killed wife, dumped body in the ocean in 1984. I remember this guy. He pushed her out the plane, right? Huh. Oh, we're looking up crime from Robert Bierbaum. A former plastic surgeon confessed to killing his wife and throwing her body out of a plane over the Atlantic. 2 days ago. I thought he was already in jail, though. Oh, police surgeon admits he did kill his wife and throw her out of the plane. He was immature after throwing his wife. But he's in jail, though, right? Yeah, who knows? Do we even want to? All right, come on. Did they release him? All right, hold on. Wait a minute. A former plastic surgeon confessed to killing his wife and throwing her body out of a plane over the Atlanta police reports say. Yeah, I remember this. The New York surgeon was an experienced pilot. Burbank said he strangled Cass and dumped her body in the ocean in a transcript uh, of the hearing obtained by ABC News. Dr. Birnbaum, a former plastic surgeon from New York City, convicted of murdering her in 2000, confessed to killing her, and then throwing her body out of a plane and into the Atlantic Ocean after decades of maintaining his innocence. Birnbaum, now 66, convicted of the murder in 2000 under circumstantial evidence, has continued to deny an involvement in her death, told parole hearing in December 2020 that he killed the wife, Gail Katz, in 1905. He said it was because he was immature and couldn't deal with his anger. I went to stop her yelling at me, and I attacked her, Birnbaum said in the transcript of, in the transcript of the hearing. Birnbaum, who was also an experienced pilot, continued to say that he strangled his wife and then went flying, opened the door, and then took her body out of the, and then I opened the door, then took her body out of the airplane over the ocean, then took her body out? What is that? Take implies you're outside taking her out of the plane. I took you out of the car. He's speaking this. I opened the door and then took her body out of the airplane over the ocean. Good Lord, that is bad. Like, okay. Gail Katz's body had never been found. No, it's really involved. Prosecutor who convicted Burbank in 2000 was stunned by his admission to the parole board. Why would you be stunned? You put him in jail. To the parole board, especially since they had printed the same exact theory about Gail Katz's death during the original trial against Birnbaum. 1999, about a story about the case in the New York Times, that's where I read it, that authorities believe Birnbaum spent hours dismembering Katz's body before taking a plane out over the ocean and dumped the body between Montauk Point, New York, and Cape May, New Jersey. Wow. I was like, holy shit, are you kidding me? Dan Bibb, a former Manhattan Assistant District Attorney who prosecuted Birnbaum in 2000, said. Bibb continues the Birnbaum story, when you get right down to it, is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This guy was a psychopath. Birnbaum and Katz first met in the early 1980s. At the time, she was a college student, while he was already a qualified surgeon. He had been known to take women out for romantic plane rides. Gail Katz's sister, Alana Katz, told ABC 2020 that at first the couple relationship had seemed magical, but over time, Birnbaum became controlling and violent. Elaine said one day he received a call from her sister after Birnbaum had tried to drown her cat in the toilet of the Upper East Side apartment. My God, he tried to drown your cat. One night, Elena Katz said Barenbaum choked Gail after 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 caught her smoking on their balcony. After caught her smoking on the balcony. Gail Katz reported the incident to police, but Birnbaum was never charged. Oh, dude, that's a one and done, lady. Seriously, seriously, seriously. All right. Um, if this happened in 2021, Robert Birnbaum would have been in handcuffs immediately. What you fucking you talking about? It was 20. It was yeah. Look, listen. He should have been arrested in 2000, but he was a doctor. Like I told you, those people, like people who, if you make over 100 grand, there's a different law for you. She should have left. Uh, I want to mansplain, but she should have left. If this happened in 2021, Robert Birnbaum would have been in handcuffs immediately, Bibb added. The fact that this was 1983, nothing was done about it. Okay, no, 83. Okay, no, right. I agree with that. The murder was in 2000 though. Yeah, the murder was in 2000. All right, no, he's right about this. 83. Nothing was done about it. After killing cats in 1985, Birnbaum told her family and police that they had a fight. Wait, he killed her in 1985? Why'd you convict him in 2000? That's 15 years later. I remember him being convicted when this whole thing went down. After killing Castellani, Birnbaum told her family and police that they had a fight at their apartment and Cat stormed off and never returned. Birnbaum continued to live his life with relative normalcy, attending parties in the Hamptons and dating other women. But by 1990, Birnbaum had relocated to Las Vegas and opened a plastic surgery practice there. Birnbaum remains in prison. I could have sworn this. I remember this happened. Maybe I thought. Maybe okay. I remember the story in the 80s, and then maybe I just remember the close of the story in the 2000s. That's likely what happened. Birnbaum remains in prison currently. His next parole hearing is scheduled for November. How did he kill his wife and do something gritty like throw her body out of a plane? You think he dismembered her? How's he getting parole? Who was his judge? That is outrageous. All right. Yeah. All right. 2000. He was convicted in 2000. Oh, hold on. Wait. Convicted of the murder in 2000. Right. No body, no nothing. They convicted him of the murder in 2000. 15 years after the murder. He's been in jail for 21 years and he's about to get parole. Yeah, but they want you to admit. And after you admit, they're just gonna be like, oh, he fucking sucked. How old was he? It did not say 66. It was older than that, right? Uh yeah. But also, several things will help you get parole. Sometimes they just want your case to go away, right? So they're well, that's really giving you a deal. If you cop to it, it'll be time served. You can go home. That's really cutting your deal. But to go out and go to rehab and then be released to your family and do the remainder of whatever time you got out in the world. Um, I think they generally want you to admit it that you did something wrong, or I don't know. I don't really know much about the parole system because I know the courts just get a fucking boner to have you admit some shit, and then 30 years later find out that you're innocent. So yeah. Plus, a lot of those guys are appointees, and they can't look tough on crime. So also, if you're old and they don't want to take care of you, have health issues, they want to get rid of you, so you'll get parole then. No news. I did spell it right. This is not the same guy either. All right, fine. I'm not even gonna look it up. I was looking up to see how old he was. All right, let's look it up. All right, so how old is this guy? We just read this one. Now 66. He did this shit 20 years ago. He was in his 40s. And then he killed her. He must have been in his mid 30s when he killed her. Oh my God. Oh, keep his ass in prison, please. Ugh. This is what I told people. Look, man, it's one thing to be set up by the cops. We know that this happened, set up by unfair prosecutors and unfair juries and unfair judges. We know that happens, right? But the people who actually did it, who are running out here, big gunmen and cops chasing, because I've had to chase some people down, trap you in an alley, hop the fence after you, all this stuff, catch you red-handed, right? So you do it. There's cameras everywhere, all right? He was wearing this. He ran down there. We buckled him out. He's running, and then they cut him off. Bam, you're cuffed and you're in handcuffs. After the bill comes due, judge goes, "Hey, this is what your sentence is." If it's a long time, your whole life really just becomes trying to get out of jail. It's not worth it. It really is not. You're out of jail now. So now your whole reason is to try and get out of jail. Even the small shit. I just tell people all the time, it's rigged against you. Why are you playing? Right? Why are you playing? You're not gonna win. You're gambling in a casino. The casino always wins. Unless your father is a congressman or some shit, what are you doing? And I'm talking this, so I mean, this is good for any poor group. But I'm generally talking to young black men when I say this shit. What are you doing? And cats, I don't give a fuck about going to, yeah, you say that now till the door slams on you and you got to be there for 20 years. Now all of a sudden you're like, man, I was young and I was stupid. I hope I get parole. I hope I get out. And I feel you, but it's not fucking worth it. There's other shit to do with your time. But people get off on the goofy violence and the excitement and energy of it. Women like those guys apparently. Chunks full of money, there's all that stuff. But there's no real system to keep you out. At least the mafia, the Italians have a system. There's even a Jewish mafia, for fuck's sakes. There's no black mafia. People are too flashy and stupid. Iron lung. I remember when I was a kid, and iron lung scared the shit out of me. And then you read about polio. You better get this, man. Look, we don't talk about but yo, do we want to even look up iron lungs? It's so, and they were little kids too. They were like 3 and 4 and 5 years, and now that was the latest was in the 50s, right? We had a president with polio, Roosevelt. So now all those people, those kids, they're becoming a smaller and smaller group, and now I think it's something like 20 people. And you watch. I never say in your lifetime because you could walk out the street tomorrow and be hit by a fucking plane like that UPS driver. Did you see that story? That story is bananas. That guy was just doing it, going about his day, doing his job, wiped completely out by a plane. Ugh. Family and friends remember UPS driver killed by plane. I mean, look at this truck. Hold it. This. Do we want to play this? Because I'm telling you, man, YouTube is wiggy with. I'm way fishing about other people's content, but we should be able to play some of this for you. Let's get rid of that. Uh, No, not UPS plane crash. Hmm. I don't know if I can show this. It is ridiculous. So, so he pulled her out. Oops, sorry. So, ugh, I mean, look at his truck. Here's his body, sadly. But look at his house. Oh my God. You're just going about your day, driving along. We read the story about how like, it was an Indian doctor who would, another doctor who flies the plane, right? Who would commute, and they think he was disoriented. And, you know, I'm telling you, man, you learn to fly a plane in your 20s, but then your health goes. So then you got to keep your blood sugar up and da da da. And you still want to fly. You get nearsighted. You forgetful. A lot of this shit is ridiculous, and I see people doing this all the time with children and their elder relatives. I'm like, I don't know if that 80-year-old man should be taking this 4-year-old around. Like your 8 and 9 and 10-year-old know their name and where they live, and God forbid their grandpa dies, they can tell the police what the name of their mother is and where she works. You know what I mean? But your 4-year-old can't do that. God forbid he has a heart attack, or, I mean, let's go camping. What? No. Well, maybe not camping, but man, it's something to be concerned about. People aren't really, I don't know, people aren't really clear. Why? Viral video of a woman stepping out of a Amazon van? Are they implying that the driver banged some girl in the van? Here's your problem, people. The whole society sells you sex and violence. If you cut me off right now, I'm gonna cut your television on. You'd see one of three things. You see a commercial for drugs, Xanax, Prozac, whatever. You'll see a TV show, and it's likely to be an idiot comedy or a drama where there's generally gunplay, right? Or another drama where there's the whole thing is essentially sex. Everybody fucking everybody. Somebody used to fuck this person, now moved on to that person. This guy can't get over it. This guy has broken heart because the girl who he once loved, now it's always churning. I hate you, and this is what it is. Um, but here's the problem: if you're gonna push that on me, if I partake in it, you can't be mad at me. If the whole environment pushes salad and I eat a steak, I get the society being mad at me. But if the whole society pushes salad and I'll have a salad, don't call me a pussy because I'm having a salad, right? If the whole society deals in guns and I get a gun, don't fucking talk bullshit about, like, we had the shooting down here. Guy had a gun because you have an open carry here in Virginia, and then they killed him. And they were like, black guy with a gun. They were like, yeah, open carry state, stupid. What other reason did you have for killing them? None. So this is where we're at. It's like it sells you. It's like I said before about my car. Uh, I like to drive fast. I hate to say it. I hope it doesn't come back to haunt me on these pods. But I'm pretty adept at it. And I live in a place where there's a whole bunch of old people and a whole bunch of young people who don't know what they're doing behind the wheel. Um, and I'm not doing like 100 miles an hour. Like, if the speed limit is 40, I'm doing 50. If the speed limit is 70 down here on the highway, I'm like doing like 75, tipping 80. But people blow by me, and I'm like, wow. But but on side streets and all that, it goes back again, right? Side streets and stuff, you follow the rules. Like, 25 miles an hour, I think. Um, but I grew up watching Bullet and the Cannonball Run, right? America's car culture. I'm a part. I mean, the car culture is dying, but I grew up in car culture. Now, even as you watch television, all the car commercials are speeding around corners, tiny little bumper saying "closed course," but they're still selling you speed and swiftness. And oh, look at the lines. Then you get a car, you can't do any of that shit. What is America? America's a nanny state. But I get it. I don't want you doing 140 miles an hour and wiping out my niece trying to cross the street to go to college classes. People are fucking stupid. Going back to this pandemic, right? My whole position, my official position with the pandemic is this. You shouldn't mandate anything. This is America. What the fuck is wrong with you? But we're Americans. We should be like, oh wow, whew, a pandemic. We need to protect ourselves. But no. So now you have to mandate because some people are fucking stupid. And that's the way it works. If you should be willing to do the right thing. They shouldn't. But if you're gonna stand against that, then you should get fucking yeah. Then a mandate is needed because you're stupid. And it's that. Look, if you're my kid and I'm going away for the weekend, I can trust you. That's the way that works because I raised you a certain way. Right now, here's another one. You're my kid and I'm going away, and you're like, hey, can I have a party? Again, I trust you. You know the rule, right? But some people, I'm not going away and leaving. And when I say kid, I mean like the 19, 20-year old. I mean like the first time, how old are you when you were first left alone by your parents for like a weekend, right? Because there's a few of us. So I remember my parents going away and my older brother and older sister watching us. Um, but I also remember they all went to a family reunion I didn't want to go to. And I was 16 and they left me alone for the weekend. And nothing happened. I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, ooh, yeah. All right, well, okay. I guess it's just me and a dog here. And that was it. I watched what we used to have HBO, not HBO, what Mecca Home Theater. I watched some of that, watched a little HBO, kicked it with the homies, but the homies didn't come in. We didn't wreck the house. I have been to house parties where people's houses got wrecked because people are like, oh, my parents are going, I'm going to throw a giant party. I'm going to invite everybody. Like, this is the movies. Wreck the house, stole shit. You don't know these people. The people I would have had in my house, my parents knew, right? So it's that kind of thing. Like, do you are you prepared? Like, did you are you not prepared? Are you at least raised right? And we're talking about in the context of the nation, raised well. And I don't think the children, Americans, are raised well, right? You want a war with me in our house, this American house? You're an idiot, right? And it's that. It's like, oh, something bad is going on outside. The first thing you do is go, whoa, whoa, we put all our shit aside and we protect all of us because we all live here. So we all, if you don't, everybody doesn't want to get the shot. Those who don't get the shot, wear a fucking mask. Don't cough. Don't be arrogant, right? But no, not only would I not wear a mask, and I'm a lie too. I'm gonna get fake vaccine cards and yeah, fuck all of you. Yeah, every mandate everything. Yeah. I don't think you've proven to be an adult group to do it. And it's funny, I say that even as the people who run this country are fucking asshats. I mean, come on, nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. You have to have Joe Manchin over to your house to get fuck. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And this is why I decided last a couple of days ago I'm not voting for about to say Joe Manchin. I'm not voting for uh Terry McAuliffe. I'm not going to feed the problem. And I'm watching him on TV giving me these pablum stupid speeches. Like he might as well have said, uh, "There's not one America. There's two Americas." The whole cliche. So what, man? Seriously, what do you have for me other than Donald Trump fear talk and fucking Obama, who you had to pull off a golf course and his pile of money to come and guilt me into voting for you? I'm done with all of you. And I said this before, people will not keep voting for you when you don't deliver. And even if you keep promising these things, we may want these things, but you've proven that you can't deliver them. So now I want these things, and I want someone else to a new hero or whatever to handle this operation, right? I need a new general in charge of this because you're incompetent. You're McClellan. You know what I'm saying? You're McClellan, and I need Ulysses Grant. That's what we have here, right? I'm not just going to pull McClellan and act like there's no war going on. We still need these things. And you've proven to me that only thing you can do is enrich yourself and get it wrong. 10 points in 10 months. That's fucking amazing. And no one said anything up until I think July. Middle of July, people began to talk about his poll numbers. But that okay, no, I think middle of July, June, July, they began to talk about Kamala's poll numbers. Late July, early August, they began talking about Biden's poll numbers. Because there's this whole thing about having strong coattails, right? Nobody wears coattails anymore. But there's this thing about having strong coattails in politics. So if everybody loves you, your swag rubs off on them. So President, who was popular? President Reagan, whether you liked him or not, got a lot of other Republicans elected. He would show up, he would tell jokes. They were like, "Oh man, look at us, we Republicans, we chilling." Right. The same thing happened. Uh, well, not with Obama because there was a lot of race factor there, but the same thing happened with Clinton. Clinton had good coattails, right? Or he would go there and tell jokes and something he wouldn't play the sax, and he, my wife Hillary, ha ha ha, and laugh at him. They're like, "Oh my God, we love that guy," and he made a couple of congressmen and a couple of senators, right? People worked for him and then went off to run for office. I worked with Bill Clinton. Ooh, Bill Clinton, right? Not anymore though. The Clintons are done. Um, and they have the nerve to be pushing Rahm Emanuel. See, and this is another reason why I think that the Democrats are I'm just done with them. The idea that Rahm Emanuel is going to get ambassadorship says you can expect me to vote for your fuckers in like 10 to 12 years. Give that a shot. I've got other things to do. Really. I don't like how you padded the room, and I don't like your black faces who are just there to be black faces. I'm just completely over it. Now, having said that, am I going to run into the Republican Party, start voting Republican? No, I'm not. I do other things with my time. But you'll miss me. And, if the Republicans can fix their shit and give me something that I want, they'll pick up a vote. But you lost one. What's the song? You may win some, but you just lost one. Not the producer, assistant director here. So this assistant director was in charge of the prop people. Yeah, I was wondering why they kept bringing him up. I was like, "Ooh, scapegoating the fuck out of that guy," and it looks like he's the guy that they're gonna lay this on. Uh, assistant director Rust. First of all, I like Western, but fucking Rust is a shitty name for a movie. And no one told me where these people were shot. I really need to know. I really need to know because it hit two people. So, did it go through one guy's hand? Excuse me. Did it go through one guy's hand and then hit the woman? Did it pass straight through the woman? Because women are tiny. And hit him? Did it hit him in the chest? Right? He's just alive, right? Did it hit her in the? Where did this? Where did this round hit these two people? And I'm leaning toward it was of one shot but they really didn't say he fired one shot. They haven't really said that yet. Ugh, ugh, I hate TMZ. Assistant director who gave Baldwin the gun had prior safety issues. Former crew members claim Yep, this is the guy they're going for. It is your neck. Alec Baldwin, Russ head gun handler had doubts about experience level. Uh, excuse me, Alec Baldwin movie shooting assistant director handled him. Okay. The assistant director on the set of Russ, who told Baldwin the prop gun he was about to fire was safe, has allowed an unsafe work environment on previous production. This according to someone who worked with him on. Oh, so one other person said this. You don't know who has a fucking man. These pictures, I do not buy the sincerity of either one of these fucking pictures. Do I want to say that? Because I'm a pacer, and yeah, but I think he knows cameras are around. That's why I think it's insincere. And they always offer movie star privacy. You want this room here? I mean, we've got all these, they'll stick you off in a corner. And now yeah. The thing about this is that the gun was used offset. That's what we read yesterday. Might be their gift to offset will be better than I don't even know what this is. Um, yeah, it's skeevy. It's skeevy. We've been streaming for an hour. Uh, we only actually caught like I want to say two stories. But I mean, good lord, look, listen. This Alec Baldwin story is weird for a lot of reasons. The one that sticks out to me is why is there a live gun on set? Of all the other shit, the giant thing to me that's going to hang somebody is that. Why is there a live round in these guns? It's make believe, and they're talking about accidental discharge, and you got to watch people have access grind. They say stuff that is weirdly phrased, and you know but the idea, and I went through this yesterday, an accidental discharge with a blank is not really an accidental discharge. You have to have a lead, it has to be a bullet. It has to be able to kill somebody, right? Um, and even if it's caps and caps can kill people and trigger discipline, I totally get all that. I just hold, and and we looked it up yesterday. I haven't seen anything that really says it has to be a bullet, but I'm pretty sure the fuck has to be a bullet. I mean, I mean, it's the land of make believe. Why is it a real bullet in a Colt 45 on set? Shot her at close range, right? I mean, it's in a church. You can assume he was practicing drawing and they were like, what, 10, 15 feet apart? Maybe he was standing closer because he's going, yeah, I want you to pull it, because when directors always saying about, like you stand with your friends, you're sitting around in a circle talking about the game or the sports or who dating who about that distance. I'm assuming because you're giving him because they weren't filming right, so it sounded like he was giving him direction. That's why he shot the director, right? So it was like, okay, so we're gonna be over here, Alec, and I want this to happen, and I want you to come over this way, then I want you to join. I was like, all right, right, bam, right. It was one of those things. Um, that's how the shooting makes sense to me. Still nobody's fault, but the 500-pound elephant sitting on the shooter's lap in this whole debacle is why is there a live round on set? Because somebody was playing with guns, like we said a couple of days ago. Somebody was playing with guns. This is how the whole thing plays out in my head. So after work one day, maybe it was after they wrapped on a show or whatever. Um, I don't know how long they've been shooting with this crew. Actually, people quit that day. So probably it wasn't like the last time he shot a movie and didn't clean these guns. So it was like this movie. They probably had like, okay, weekend, see you later. Him took some of these guns. It's New Mexico, wide open spaces. Put bear cans or something. Had a barbecue. She shot. Had a shot beer cans. Had a barbecue. Right. Had a radio going. Talking shit with your mans. I can hit this. Oh, hey, try the Colt. Maybe you should try the 45. What about the Glock? Ha ha ha. At the end of the night, all right. At the end of the weekend, uh, going back to work, you put up all the guns. Forgot which one was which. Threw them back in with the rest of them. Maybe there's a live round there, right? Because if there's a fucking rack of actual bullets on that movie set, I would, oh, dude. So one bullet I see, so that's because you didn't empty that last round that you had in that gun, right? As you shot whiskey and drank whiskey out in the New Mexico desert before you went back to work on Monday or whenever the next shooting day was. Then you just put them, you threw them all back in your backpack or whatever, gun master or assistant gun master or whoever took them out. Um, and then just put them back in and talk to Bob and had your coffee and oh, we need Alice gun for the movie. Oh yeah, okay. And then went and got the gun and put it on the cart. So maybe it's not the assistant director's fault, but whoever that guy was, who was, and maybe it was the director who shot him and then put the guns back there, right? Whoever that person was is going to prison. Everyone else is sort of culpable because of nonsense, right? It's like what is it? Death by misadventure. That woman who died in a police van. She went to a police parking lot. She climbed into a van, and they found her like 5 days later. You do realize that if you get into a police van, you can't get out. Someone has to let you out. They're security vehicles. You can't roll the windows down. You can't pop the door. There are no little nodules to pick up with your fingers. Vans are the same. They're paddy wagons. So she got in there, I don't know why, to smoke weed, to go to sleep, to play fucking games, to take a piss, to do whatever. And then she realized she couldn't get out. This reminds me of like the other death by misadventure was there was a young girl, 18, who got trapped in a freezer at a college party in a school. There's camera footage of her going down in the basement, walking into where the freezers are. There's no footage of her going. And then like she went missing. And then they found her like 2 days later in the freezer because she went in there and she couldn't get out. Right. So this is like not so much death by misadventure. That guy who got trapped in the cave, he tried to squeeze in that thing, got stuck, and then they couldn't get him out, and he died in there. And then they sealed the cave because they were like enough of this shit. Uh, some people are ridiculous. Can you imagine getting stuck in the underground cave? Ooh, oh, the idea of it just freaks me out. Um, so yeah, this is that. This is hey, Alec Baldwin, here's your gun. Alec Baldwin should have checked the gun. But why am I? I'm out of the bar. I got these other underlings who do all this shit. I'm an assistant director. I've got the armor to do this shit. But maybe the armor didn't know somebody took the guns out. But doesn't matter. As soon as you're up and you're up for work, you check all your shit. It's a gun. You check it all the time. Rack the slide. Take the mag out. Rack the slide. Click 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 click. If it's an automatic, click 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 click. Make sure nothing comes out. Then you lock it back and you look in it. And some people even stick their finger in it. But that's like me going, make sure that no one's in the room with you. Right. All right, there's no one in the room, right? But you look under the table, right? You don't see anybody. But even though you don't see anybody, you're with your foot under the right. You want to make sure. People are like, what are you doing? I'm just making sure there's no one in here with me. Right? I'm making sure there's nothing in this gun. Click, 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 click. With revolvers, you pop them open, you spin them, you can see all the open chambers, right? You spin it, you shut it back. People are just fucking lazy. Um, yeah, I think whoever did not check this gun, it's their butt. But I think it's going to be other people as well. Don't get it twisted. It's going to be other people as well because it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Why is there a live round? I can't get past it. Why is there a live round on set? It's fiction. It's Hollywood movies. The love making is fake. The killing is fake. Uh, the 5'5", 105-pound woman throwing rooms of 6'4" brawler ass guys out of windows. It's fake. It's movies. We love them. Why is there a real gun? Why is there a real gun? I'm not a real gun. A real bullet. And people are talking about wow, well they use real guns because I get why you use real guns. I totally get. And there are several types of real guns. You can have the hammer down, and the blank will still go off. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an armorer, even though my name is Armor. But the idea of that there's an actual bullet in an armorer's kit is ridiculous. I mean, look, listen. If I'm a chef and someone gets poisoned by arsenic, my question becomes, why does a chef who cooks have arsenic in the kitchen? Right? That becomes the question. Oh well, it's just a little bit, and I have a chemistry set in the back room, and da da da. Because you can have a certain, but right, but you're still like, yeah, but it's in the kitchen. Why is it in the kitchen? It's the of all the places the thing shouldn't be, right? And I'm pretty sure there are other of these scenarios that you could think of as well, right? If you're, I don't know, what is another one? All right. If you're at a pool and someone gets electrocuted, you're asking, why is there a radio plugged in next to the pool? Right. All these things, the giant glaring thing of this whole story is, why is there around? Why is there a bullet on set in the first place? And I think the only is because, like they said, they would take the guns away, use them as guns, and then bring them back. And I think that's what happened. Baldwin was sitting. Hutchins shot in the midsection. The director standing behind Hutchins shot in the shoulder. Oh, so ooh, okay. And then it followed up and hit him in the shoulder. Oh, so he sort of, so the scene was for him to shoot somebody, like, look, and yeah, wow. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Wow, that is tragic. Ugh. But that sounds about right. Because I was like, oh, did he hit her in the head? I mean, where's this gunshot, right? Then you start doing the scenarios, like, because the other thing that wouldn't have made any sense on a western, and I like westerns, is firing 2 rounds from a revolver, right? Unless the first one was a blank and the second one was live, then that would make sense. But so look, he went like this, movie style. So I do this. Oh, I forget the director's name, Jonathan. Bang like that, right? And she was probably standing in front of him because she's a camera person. And yeah, yeah. See, movies, here's the thing. In movies, the hero always gets shot. When I was growing up, he always got shot in the shoulder, and because it's easy to recover from. But no, all this whole shit. If you ever, I've met people get shot in the shoulder. If you're lucky if you can do this. All this stuff is gone, right? You cannot put your hand over your head. Yeah, so I mean, I think we romance like fucking shootings. All this who's 50 Cent shot 9 times bullshit. Listen to me. I want to say something like 40% of the people who get shot die. Everyone else have really long lasting, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, if somebody, the more times you're shot, the more, like, if they come to get you, like, Tommy guns and shit. But like random shootings, one and done. Ooh, the round went off in the body. I mean, you insanguinate. Isn't that what they call it? All the blood flows out of you. You got to stop the bleeding. These are major arteries: your liver, your heart, your intestines, all these things. You'll be on a bag forever. And people just think it's like the movies, and it is not like the fucking movies. It is grisly. They said the armor took the tampering. The 24-year-old, yeah, this whole thing looks like a shit show from the start. And first off, I'm sitting here thinking there's one bullet in the gun, and you brought it. It could very well have been fucking fully loaded with bullets. And the question is, it could have been her, right, to impress her friends. But that whole story about, oh, I was really afraid to unload a gun on that podcast. Whew, this whole thing is going to be a fucking fustercluck. Um, let's write what you wrote. Armorer took bullets. Oh, good lord, my typing is just the worst. Prop gun sparks debate about cinematographer death on set. Explained guns on movie sets. How can a prop gun kill? Alec Baldwin was told the gun in a fatal shooting on set was safe. Of course. I mean, what would the headline look like if it said Alec Baldwin was told that there was an actual bullet in the gun and he fired it anyway? It'd be a totally different story. They said a lot of people quit that morning. Alec Baldwin, what are prop guns and why are they dangerous? Lethal prop gun fired by Alex Baldwin had misfired before. How do you have a misfire with a revolver? All right, this ought to be good. October 22nd. This was 2 days ago. The prop gun using, we're not going to read this whole thing. We just want to get to the meat of what this title is about. Uh, the prop gun used in the favorite shooting of the cinematographer of the movie Alex Baldwin was producing had misfired before on the set. The gun had misfired before on the set. Just a few hours before. Look, it's a fucking revolver, man. They don't go off, or you can beat the fuck out of somebody with a Colt revolver. Like they're not going off. You have to cock. You have to look. The only way this gun is going off is if you cock the trigger and toss it. Then maybe the trigger snaps back and the gun goes off. But to act like you're holding a gun and it just spits out around at you, it better be 95 degrees like 120 degrees in that gun in that room you're in. The prop gun the fired on the set just a few hours before Bowman fired the shot that killed the highly regarded cinematographer. Highly regarded. I tell you, I said it before and I'll say it again. Only the best people ever die in Hollywood. Uh, Halyna Hutchins had also wounded the director Joe Souza. Several members of the crew walked off the set of Rust because of the safety concerns. I get that. You're sitting there as a, a crewman, right? You're doing the lights or the rigging, you're gaffering or the best boy or whatever, and you're chilling with the other guys who aren't even Teamsters, and there's a round that just whizzes right by you, or at your feet from 10 feet, or you got your back turned, you hear the gun go off, to scare the shit out. You're like, why am I even working here? What are these people doing? I'm leaving. I totally get it. Could have passed right through a wall into the not concession. That's in ballparks and but what are they called? The food area on movie sets. Anyway, while you're eating your curtain way, yeah, the whole thing is a shit show. I totally get it. The disclosure came as investigators probing the tragedy at the Bonanza Ranch in New Mexico were seeking to question the three workers who were supposed to make sure Baldwin was firing blanks. Sources said. Wow. Disclosure came as the investigators probing the tragedy at the Bonanza Ranch in Mexico were seeking to question three workers who were supposed to make sure Baldwin was firing blank, sources say. So they're looking for three people in the props department who they can't find. No one's going on a run for this, but I just find it funny that they can't find them. I think they probably went to visit a friend and lawyered up. Yeah, this is my point. Can we even? Can we even? Yeah, this is my point. Why is this even on set? This is your blank, right? And this little fat nodule can get you. Uh, but this is your bullet. And your bullet ends right where this line is. And this whole thing peels back. And you don't need that much gunpowder in the blank. This is a really good illustration. Good job, guys. Um, when a gun trigger is pulled, the primer ignites the gunpowder and fires a bullet. Blank expel gunpowder and hot gases out of the front of the barrel in a cone shape, but no bullet is fired. A seal made from paper or plastic, this is released like a projectile. Yeah. So it can hurt you. If it gets you good, it can kill you. If you put it up against your temple and fucking pull the trigger, it will definitely kill you. Thank you, Canteen. Yes, thank you. Took the bullets out of the gun before the cops showed up. That right there, it's always the cover up. It's the cover up. Just a few, and there was before. It sounded like somebody was playing with the guns. Uh, there was a because nobody's gonna go, oh, I accidentally meant to do it. There was a misfire hours before this whole thing happened. Just a few hours before Baldwin fired. I call Biz in about 10 minutes. Just a few hours before Baldwin fired the shot that killed the highly regarded cinematographer and also wounded director Joe Souza. Several members of the crew walked off the set. Oh, all right. Okay. Reading discipline. Let's read this over. The prop gun used in the fatal shooting of the cinematographer of the movie Alec Baldwin was producing had misfired before on the set. Sources familiar, right? It had. Then it comes to this second paragraph that says just a few hours before, which implying the shot, the misfired was a few hours earlier. It's not that. Just this is really fucking weird writing. Who wrote this? Andrew Blankenstein, Steve Louis, Diana Dirage, and Corky Zemesco. All right. Just a few hours before the Baldwin fired the shot that killed the highly regarded cinematographer and also wounded director Joe Souza, several members of the crew walked off the set of Rush because of safety concerns. All right. The disclosure came as investigators probing the tragedy, at the Bonanza Ranch in New Mexico were seeking to question three workers who were supposed to make sure Baldwin was firing blanks. How did they get off the How do you leave if someone calls the cop because someone's shot? How do you leave? Yeah. And another thing about shooting, not just that, your body goes into all sorts of weird shit. We all handle it differently. I mean, she could have began to just get cold and threw her whole temperature back. And yeah, man, these things are just brutal. And we only see TVs treat them sort of like the problem solver. The production company said in a statement Friday that the safety of our cast and crew is a top priority of Rush Productions and everyone associated with the company. Ah, what did they call it? Word soup when you're talking but not saying anything. Thought, though we are not made aware of any official complaints concerning weapons or prop safety on our set, we will be conducting an internal review of our procedures while production is shut down. Of course, the workers based in and around Albuquerque appeared to have ties to the local film industry because they were hired to work on Baldwin's Western record show. Yeah, this is how it works. I mean, you live in California, your production comes in California, you're going to shoot something in New York, you hire New York people. You don't fly everybody out to New York and then put them up in houses or hotels or whatever. You hired the local people, right? If I can get my production company off the ground here and then I go to Saskatchewan, I'm hiring Saskatchewan film people who know, first of all, where the good restaurants are, right? Know the roads because you're gonna have to drive to and from the set, and and they know filmmaking. So why would you fly new people in? As a matter of fact, this is how. Uh, what's the place across from Seattle in Canada? They make all these movies there because it's just as cheap. Hello, Edward. Good to see you. It's just as cheap to make a movie. It's super cheap because it's Canada and it's only across the river from like Oregon, right? So Stargate Atlantis was filmed there. All these great redwood trees, they've got some. So it looks like California, but it's not. In the last like 30 years, they built up a movie industry because everything was getting so expensive to film here, right? So yeah, I can see you going to Albuquerque and hiring their local talent. But the question is, how good is their local talent? Are they just knuckleheads who play with the guns? Are they professional? Are they the only people in this small town market to work with? You know what I mean? Their names were listed on the call sheet for Thursday, the day of the fatal shooting, which NBC News obtained from one of the entities cooperating with the police. So your name says you have to work there, and I know you want your name on it because they pay you by that call sheet. NBC News is withholding their name because the police have not characterized the investigation into the deadly incident outside Santa Fe as an accident investigation or a criminal probe. No, 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 no. The way this works is it's an accident until you make it a criminal probe. That's why you're investigating it. Um, what up? I was just about to call you, Ted. Are we doing this thing or not? Is it good to see me? It's good to see you too. HRU. After she was shot, she couldn't feel her legs. Where did you read this? Your source is better than mine. Um, both those, yeah, they're listed on the call sheet, and then they left the scene after the shooting. Why would you leave the scene? You know there was a shooting. There can't be 1,000 people on this set. The cops show up, and you're not there. That just yeah. That's when you like. We've had this in New York. People would have a train accident, and then they want to go talk to the conductor. They can't find him to give him a blood test, right, to see if he was smoking or doing anything, and then he'll show up 2 days later with a lawyer. You're like, yeah, all right. Property masters, especially the armorers on big movie sets, are generally very experienced, but Russ with a low budget movie, said Toby Bay. Toby, Tobey. There's an E in your Toby. Come on, man. Tobey, Bays, Bayes. Okay, I'll let the Bays go. Business agent for IATSE, local 44 in Hollywood. Which business agent? I wonder what that means. Which is 7,000 member property masters union. 7,000 member. So it was not immediately clear just how much experience these crew members have, and none of them are listed as members of the local. So they're not even union guys. So all these people can step back and just be like, "Oh, HRU means how are you? Oh, I got you. I got it." Um, they left the set. She couldn't feel her legs. That was ugh. Yeah, I think these guys are just I don't mean to laugh at it, but sometimes like when shit goes wrong, it goes wrong and it goes wrong fast. Um, this is a movie set. There's a thing called Chekhov's gun, if you know anything about movies, in which uh you know what's great? Knives Out is a great movie if you know this movie. Everything about that movie is a Chekhov's gun. Everything they show you pl- plays it up later, right? So the idea that they show you the fake knife that he uses later on in the movie. They show you the letter that he wrote that had nothing on it. Those scenes, right? They keep showing you the blood on her foot, right? All these kind of weird things in a murder mystery. You go, what does that mean? Ah, that's what that means. This strikes me as that. This strikes me as there was a gun with a bullet in it. It's almost like I was watching this a couple of days ago. Murder on the Orient Express, where you got like 9 people and you got one dead body, and you got to walk around and ask who was where and when. And now you got 3 people who you got to go find. So the first question is, where are those 3 people? What did you know and when didn't you know it? You didn't fire the gun, but man. All right, so whew, it's 8:05 on a Monday. Uh, like and subscribe. Like I said, helps the channel. Help me out. We're growing this thing. We stream every day, 6:30 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Sunday, 7:30 a.m. for the Sunday session. Come on through. It fixes your soul, guaranteed for 2 weeks. You know this. We talk about everything. Oops, sorry about that. Uh, what's going on in the chat? Everybody's good. Everybody looks good in the chat. Uh, no spaces, William. Um, so yeah, man, this whole shooting thing is tragic and stupid for so many reasons. We're out 24-year-old gun masters who don't know guns. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I was afraid to load the gun. But you're the armorer on a movie, right? I think it was also they got a deal on the cinematographer, right? It was like her second gig too. Uh he had worked with the director before. Um Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think they would take the guns home on the weekends. You got 3 days off. I'll see you on the next shoot day. Enjoy your day off. And they're all local, so they would take the guns, go play with them as a at the barbecue or whatever. In my mind, I've got like an old, not like an old boys party where people run around going yeah, popping off rounds, right? But so like a guy and some of his homies with a fire going, maybe grilling and shooting beer cans off like a fence, just like a handful of not a handful, maybe like 2 or 3 people playing music, got a guitar, they're talking shit, maybe a girl or two around, blah 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 blah. We do movies, and then at the end of the week, they bring it all back to work, and nobody bothers to check the gun. Especially since William told me someone emptied the gun and left. So that means after you shot the gun, which tells me, from what you tell me, it sounded like it, because I was working on the assumption that there was one bullet in this gun. It sounded like the gun was fully loaded. No one checked it. Uh, Shot this woman. Someone then took the gun, emptied it, and took the rest of the bullets offset. Right? Because I really don't think it would have been a box of bullets. Man, it probably, I'm afraid there might as well have been a box of bullets, right? Just why would you have real bullets near real guns on a movie set? They're not fake guns and real bullets. They're real bullets and real guns. Yeah, it looks like people tried to cut corners and make a movie. Because remember, I mean, I learned this from Ted. They want content. Content is king. So they want movies for HBO, whether it's Game of Thrones. They want movies for Netflix, like Squid Games. They want movies for everybody's got a streaming channel. Disney, right? They're all Marvel and Star Wars, right? I mean, it's right. Everybody wants some great idea, so maybe he'll a low budget movie that all of a sudden people just take to, like that Squid Games thing. Then all of a sudden they want reruns and repeats, and Netflix wants it, and Hulu wants it, and Amazon wants it. We got a schedule. We're gonna talk to those guys next year. We're giving ourselves well, not 3 months. That's two. We're giving ourselves like a month and a half to shoot it, and then a month and a half to edit it, and then we're gonna do a month and a half of publicity for it, and then we're gonna have it out by spring. Not anymore. Every time someone dies on the set, they shelve those movies. We looked that up yesterday. And yeah, we're gonna cut all these corners. We're gonna make the 24-year-old the gun master. We're gonna make this 40-year-old lady who just switched careers to become a cinematographer. How the fuck you do that? Like 2 years ago, and now she's working on Hollywood movies with, I mean, you got to know people or sleep with people, one of the two, or be the daughter of somebody to get kind of access like that. It's not like she had a history of making movies and Hollywood came calling, right? What's the girl? Issa Rae. What's that? Insecure Black Girl. I mean, she had a series on YouTube, right? And then uh is it Netflix or HBO or whoever came calling with a couple of $1 million? We like your YouTube show. It's got 3 seasons on YouTube. We know you can direct and write. Step up to the big leagues. You wrote it, started it, and directed some shit. Welcome to the big show. Let's see what you got. See if you can hang here, right? She didn't have any of that. She just so someone showed on TV that a prop gun allows you to put in blanks. Yeah, because it's a prop gun. Blanks are made for prop guns. Blanks can be used in prop guns and real guns, right? Bullets can only be used in real guns. The hammers are different. And sometimes prop guns are real guns that they shave the hammer down on. Let's look up what makes a prop gun. What a prop gun. The term prop gun can apply to anything from a rubber toy to a real firearm that can fire a projectile. Its use of firing, even blanks, is considered a real gun. A blank is a cartridge that contains, we just went over this, but no bullet. Yeah, prop guns are real guns. Like I'm trying to make a sci-fi movie, and I could have a weird looking gun. But if I'm making a western and I pull out something that you and everybody else who's ever seen a Western before will go, "What the hell is that?" Right? So that's not what you want. You want it to look the part and sort of feel the part. I mean, there's prop guns that look like Coast that are made of hard rubber, hard plastic, and they don't do, but they're just like you pull out, don't move. You need a gun to whip out and stick in somebody's back. Those are never real guns, right? Those are the prop guns. Close up stuff. Got an actor around the neck with a gun to his temple. Those are generally hard rubber guns. Nobody wants an actual gun to their temple. It's movies. And with people doing shit like this, you'll be on a movie set and they'll be like, nobody move, a pow. And then all of a sudden you're done killed whoever, Holly Berry or whoever the fuck you're being. It's my first day. I was an extra. I thought it was going to be a great movie star. Now I killed the beloved, whoever you got there, Britney Spears or whoever. So yeah, prop guns can be, and then you can look up on YouTube how to make a prop gun. You can go to Woolworth, get a gun, paint it black, hit the hand, and it's not like they're going to be shown in detail. I can't believe both of my loves are slamming into each other right now. My love of filmmaking and my knowledge of like cop shit, right? So both of those things kind of mesh together. You're not going to be using it up close, so you just it's that. But every now and then you need a gun to fire. And mind you, I get why blank is also a sound cue. Pow, 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 pow. So then you get it to post and you could clean up the sound because it's still a bang, uh, just like a gun, bang, bang, bang. Just like a gun, just like an actual gun with an actual gun, just like a gun with a bullet in it. And I see why you may not want to use caps, cap, 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 and then add an explosive later just for the kinetics of it. Like the actors can respond to the sound, excuse me, in real time. So I get all of that. Um, I just don't get how you're gonna get past having a fucking bullet in a gun on a movie set. That's like if I if I shoot a movie and it's about a brothel and all my actresses keep getting pregnant. Like, what are y'all doing? Why are you actually having sex on set on your low budget movie? Idiot. just it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. All right. We are gonna close this one down. I'm your man, Truest Armor. Like and subscribe. Help the channel. Uh, I got love for you. I'm here every day. Every single day. Woo. Also, we trying to play some music, do some stuff, listen to the rhythm of the world, right? And right now the rhythm of the world is pandemics and like forest fires and floods. So know what the rhythm is and protect yourself accordingly. Don't drive through high flood waters here in the East Coast, and watch yourself with some of these roads in California because some of those mudslides look treacherous. I don't know you personally, but I do care for you and I wish you well. Actually, I do know some of you in the chat personally, but I care for you and I wish you well. Like and subscribe. Come on back tomorrow. We will be here with another show. Maybe you can help me decide how this studio is supposed to look. Cause man, I have no ideas. All right, Busy Biz, you still in the chat? All right. Sounds good. Um, all right. So, do we want to go for another few minutes? Let's go for another few minutes. When? Now? Oh, yeah, man, you're killing me, William. You're gonna make me sign up for another freaking. Sounds good. Uh, you are making me want to really get like ESPN or something, like some package shit, and get rid of like Netflix and like Amazon. But then I'll just be all sports. And I know it won't be sports I like all the time. It'll be like hockey, which I don't like. It'd be like soccer, European soccer from like Brazil or some people that I don't know because I don't like. So it's like, um, yeah, yeah, man. I'm answering the text as he types it. Yeah, we can absolutely do it later. I'm available later. Um, that's it. I don't know. I mean, we could talk about some politics, but between you and the wallpaper, Obama's came not Obama. Obama came here this weekend. Uh, Biden is supposed to be coming, I think Wednesday. When is Biden coming to Virginia? And I'm just over here like, by the right, Virginia. Biden comes to VA. All right, Biden's campaign for McAuliffe again in tight Virginia. Tight Virginia. Come on, people. Okay, but tight Virginia's governor's race. Good. Jeez, the search is just ridiculous. These two. No, thank you. No, thank you. President Joe Biden is returning to the campaign trail for Terry McAuliffe. All right, so he's going to stump for you between the hours of what, 12 and 2 before bedtime. Uh, I'll be super impressed if he has a late night rally. I absolutely will, but I know that that's not going to happen. President Joe Biden is returning to the campaign trail for Terry McAuliffe in the close race for governor of Virginia. Close is not. It's within a point. That's outrageous. If he loses this, I'm not smiling. I don't mean to be smiling. I don't mean to be smiling. But I feel like I was right before the election, and I was called a coon and all this other mean stuff that hurt my feelings. Quite frankly, I openly wept. I for hours at a time. I would just wander aimlessly through the apartment in my flowery bathrobe like Brad Pitt had in Fight Club with my bunny slippers though and coffee, wondering where I went wrong, why my people did not love me. And now look at me, I'm dead fucking right. I'm definitely available later, Biz. I'm assuming you're in the chat. Let me respond to this message. I love this refrigerator. Um, oh, you're not in the group chat. All right, so yep, get at me. All right. The Panther Trail. God, he. When was it? Two things Biden doesn't do. He doesn't fly around on Air Force One because going up those steps is hard. And two, he doesn't give pressers after 2:30 in the afternoon. I don't even know what to tell you. Uh, you know what? Sometimes you should be smug when you're right. And you should grin like an idiot, like a Cheshire cat, and just what is it? Not preen, not preen. What is it when you walk? Prance. When you just prance around the courtyard because you were right. And when you're wrong, everybody likes to tell you how fucking wrong you were. Now you're straight up knocking the politics out the park. You know what they should do? They should bake you a pie and say how awesome you were for helping them out because you saw something they didn't. Now they are better suited to think out the next game because you illuminated some small corner of something that they missed. Do you think they did that? No. All right. So uh, I'm just going to take my smugness. I'm going to tip my cap. First of all, I still wear my cap like when I was a kid. This is how we wore caps, right? You get it good and bent when it's brand new. You get it, but all these other kids that had it straight flat and the top is not more. It's just yeah. Those are also like when we used to sag our pants. I still sag my pants an inch and a half and make people crazy. Now people sag their pants around their thigh. It's like right above their ankles. I just don't understand it. But that's how I know it's moved past me. You know when I knew it moved past me, quite frankly? The twerking. Like I used to grind on girls in the club, but the twerking, I'm like, okay, all right. What? Okay. Yeah. Twerking. All right. Um, one of those dances that if you saw your 8-year-old do, you bust her ass. Where'd you learn that? It's on every video. All right. McAuliffe campaign announced Thursday that the Biden will join McAuliffe, the Democratic candidate, at an event Tuesday. That's tomorrow. It's gonna fucking rain balls tomorrow in Arlington. It will be Biden's second appearance for McAuliffe after a rally in July. Also in Arlington, the densely Arlington, Virginia. So he is going. Oh my God! So he's gonna. They're going to Arlington, Virginia. Okay, he is going from the White House to Arlington, Virginia for a campaign rally, which I want to say is about 30 minutes. They're building a $500,000 security wall at one of Biden's houses. How many houses does he have? That makes sense to me. He's the president of the United States. Is all him and all his shit and all his family has to be protected. I don't really squawk about it. Like they were like, "Oh, the Secret Service has to do this because Trump plays golf. It costs." Shut up. You don't give a fuck, right? And all the people that you love are insider trading, and you're not reporting on that. So go fuck yourself. And excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? Know when you're being manipulated is what is really important here, right? If you're sitting here, if you're going to crunch the numbers and not like Biden's thing and Trump's security detail and for their kids to, you know, then also squawk about the money, how much money we give to the military. Also squawk about the insider trading congressmen and senators are doing, right? Squawk. I mean, let me know that you're clear and level headed on all issues, and you're not doing that. You're just trying to manipulate me to hate this, and I won't be manipulated by you anymore. Yeah. Ooh, look, there's a tempted to play it. The poll has enough numbers for Biden. A majority of respondents, 52%, they said they disapprove of his job performance. 52%. That means his disapproval is 48%. I don't really believe that. 2003, 2005. I don't really want to play this. McAuliffe has acknowledged Biden's declining popularity in recent weeks. Hold on. We read this before this week. We don't need to read it again. How far is the White House from Arlington? Ah, look at that. You can drive there. Fucking ridiculous. 13 minutes, 4 miles. He is the laziest fucking president in human history. Ah, he's taking. I was so right. He's too. Look, Trump is old, but Trump is not feeble. Biden is feeble. Biden is too old for this job. World leaders are just going to eat his lunch when he goes abroad, if he goes abroad. Um, by car is 13 minutes. By subway, bus, taxi, or foot. You can walk from the White House to how long does it take to walk there? An hour and 38 minutes. Okay, we don't expect them to walk. You can probably bike there in a half an hour. Yeah, if it takes an hour and a half to walk, you should be easily 3 times faster on the bike. So that makes sense. Train. Biden loves the train. Oh look, train schedules. 8:25. It's it's about a half an hour, 35 minutes, and by car, it's 13 minutes. Yeah, I look, listen. I'm not an ageist, but let's be clear. Some some not all things are equal, right? Some girls in junior high school develop early, right, and some don't. Some boys develop. I went to school in ninth grade with a guy who had a beard, like a mustache and a beard. We were like 15. And that's the case. And I didn't get any facial hair until I was like 40. And that's the way that works. So, am I saying some old person can't be president? No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying that Biden is feeble. He's old and he's feeble. I'm not saying he's old. I'm saying he's old and he's feeble. I'm saying Trump was old and annoying. He was old and arrogant. But he was, here's the thing, Trump went out every day and played golf. You may bitch about it, but golf is exercise because you do get out and walk around and swing a club, right? And I don't know anything Biden does other than bike ride, which is the laziest shit in the world. Uh, Obama has bike riding pictures, but he was a basketball player. And when Biden started running, that famous picture of him with the bicycle helmet on bikes, because that's the only thing that looked active that he could do. Right? You know who was a biker? Who was an actual biker? George Bush, right? He would trail bike on a mountain bike. So I get liking bike riding, but I also get going, you haven't done anything but sit on your ass for 50 years and demonize black people. Now you need black people to make you president, and you need a bicycle to make you look like you are, I don't know what, 12? I mean, a bike. Look, listen, I have a lot of respect for bicycles and what bicycles did for women. We all know what bicycles did for women, right? Am I gonna have to get into fucking women's history? The women's history that I like? I'm sorry, I'm packing. I can hear, you know what I love living here? I can hear all this helicopter activity, like jets. I have to fix this thing. I'm gonna get this running on my car this week, because I do a lot of driving, and I swear to God, as God is my witness. Hold it, wait a minute. I forgot how to do this. It's been a minute. It's forehead, not clavicle. This is your clavicle. This is your sternum. Forehead, sternum. It's supposed to be belly button. Uh, left nipple, right nipple, sternum. Kiss your finger. So anyway, I was driving, and a fighter jet. I don't even know how to describe it. I felt I was in my car driving, and normally they are way above me. I can see them. Sometimes they're in the sky. The biggest I've ever seen them, the jets look about this big. But this time, I could almost see the pilot. It looked about this big, and that's he. Yeah, because yeah, they practice, they train right. It's a I look, man. I know some of y'all who grew up in military bases, military people, right? Some of you who aren't military, no military bases. Some just don't care. And you're all probably just kind of like, yeah, it's a. But man, I had never in my life. It was just. I gotta get that fixed. It was amazing. No, I can't even describe it. I can't even describe it. All right, we're gonna shut this down because I'm fanboying over the military, which is probably not right. Um, $500,000 for security at his house. Is there threats? Some of this stuff is vanity for these guys. I get it, but who's threatening Joe Biden? Really, seriously. I mean, we don't want to get a Deadpool going, but still. Uh, and here's the thing: look around. This is a sad time. People begin to sort of slip these surly bonds right before Christmas, right? It's really sad. And sometimes before the New Year. In New York, this is macabre. Every year in New York, since I could remember, since I guess about 14 or 15, I will look to see who's the first person to die. I used to look up the first baby, right? And then somewhere became a lot more macabre. Now I look up the first person to die in New York. Well, not well, I did it in New York when I lived in New York. And people like would get stabbed at 11:30 and then die at like 12:01. And I'm like, you don't really count. But people would like get shot at like 12:07. You're like, all right, you count. It's just kind of like the way to start your year is bad. The way to end your year is bad. It is what it is. All right, so he's coming here. He's going to tell us how great and how we need Terry McAuliffe to make sure that Democrats get to be even more incompetent on a national scale. And think I'm just going to take a pass on Biden. I'm going to take a pass on Kamala Harris. I'm taking a pass on Joe Biden. I'm taking a pass on Chuck Schumer. I'm taking a pass on Nancy Pelosi. I'm taking a pass on Yertle the Turtle. I always call him Yertle the Turtle. What is his name? Dang it. Mitch McConnell. Yertle the Turtle. I got to stop calling him that. I'm taking a pass on Mitch McConnell. Remember when Trump was running. What happened to all these people who helped him be an asshole? Rick Perry, right? What happened to all these people? They're not in government anymore, but now they're utterly silent. No one's bringing them on TV and asking them um, anything. And when the Republicans come back, they'll be back in play. It's just we are sliding into conflict with each other, and it's been like this for a while. Eric Rudolph blew up abortion clinics. I want to say in the '90s, so this has been going on for a while. Right? The cops are out of control. Nobody can solve anything. If no one can solve anything, then we don't have a country. Everybody get your weapons out and fight for what's yours or what you want. Take it from that guy or that guy or that girl. Right? I mean, we all have to stand for something. We're all supposed to be Americans. What do we stand for? Perpetual conflict with anybody, each other, outsiders, perpetual dumbing down. We're arguing about shit that we should have put a nail in a long time ago because it's lucrative. And while we're arguing about this, the corporations are just running shit. And that's the point. We're supposed to argue about, is it peanut butter and jelly or jelly and peanut butter? And then argue about that. And then when you settle on this peanut butter and jelly, then argue again and then flip it to is jelly and peanut butter. No, it's actually in jelly and peanut butter. In God we trust on it. Shut up. I'm sick of hearing these people talk about God, and they're the meanest people. They don't like their neighbors. You know what? They're just not good. They're the worst. They're the worst. They are the worst. All right. I was gonna go get another ice cube and fill my glass, but instead I'm gonna let you guys go and see if I can find a sporting event on. Um, and yeah, I was really amped up to be on this show tonight, but say la vie, right? Things happen. Get home safe if you're not. Remember, we are here every day, 6:30. Um, we may lengthen it. We may push it back by well, we it was 4, then it was 6:30, then it was 7:30, then it was 6:30, and it's been 6:30. But it doesn't matter. We may change the time, but we'll be here every day. Have a good night, William. I will see you in the next one, hopefully. I'd like to thank everyone for coming through. Um, my man Biz, uh, Edward, which was awesome. Um, and yeah, let's get it done. Let's get it tight. I want to thank Nile Joshua Baz. And we will be here tomorrow asking the poignant questions of why would you put bullets in a prop gun on a movie set and then disappear from the scene completely when the cops show up? To just totally disappear from the zone like someone spirited you away. How do you not look guilty? Right. I mean, but here's the good thing. You can lie to the cops. You just can't lie to the feds. Right? Um, it's better to just get a lawyer and be quiet. Why is there a gun on set? That's brutal. It's so brutal. A young woman is dead. I think a lot of people are scarred by it, right? Like the 24-year-old who you haven't heard from or seen, right? She's in hiding apparently. Uh, what do you do? What do you do? I mean, the woman is dead. She had a child, right? I mean, that burns a child, right? That kid needs his mother. Flash forward 40 years, he's being arrested for what? Being cruel to women. A whole bunch of them in his basement because he lost his mom in this wild thing, right? I mean, that's not out of the realm. People go down dark roads, or maybe this somehow affects him like it affected John Lennon and Paul McCartney, right? Maybe it connects him to whatever he chooses in some deeper, weirder level. I mean, these children, man, they absorbing the world. Teach if you're lucky enough to have some young ones under like 10, 15, You know, it's the choice is yours. You can make them gods of the world, or you can make them fucking pod people who do what they're told. All right. Obviously, my parents did not make us pod people. I shoot my mouth off far too much, far too much. Uh, but we work inside the system. We're not in the crazy. My brother's a war hero. My other brother's a educated minister, and I'm a layabout ne'er do well with dreams of peace and unity, I guess. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am going to let you slide out of here. I want to thank all of you for coming through. Please, 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 please like and subscribe. It helps the channel. You know you want to. You know you want to. So just come on and do it. And get in the chat. Get at me in the chat. Get at me on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. Get at me on YouTube and get at me on Twitch. I'm thinking about having a short show about me dating ladies, like that. So I may have to get my whole remote camera set up to show you how I go out and date ladies. I think it'll be telling, and maybe you can help me with my technique because if I'm planning to what is it? What is it? If when everything falls apart and what is it? Oh, come on, not hoarder. What's the guys who keep all the canned beans and guns and they think, oh, the world is gonna end? Preppers. Preppers. All right. So if I'm gonna be a prepper, I need like backup and I need like a wife and a girlfriend. I also gotta get a dog. I'm gonna get another Belgian Malinois because Sydney, well, I love you. We're gonna get another Belgian Malinois, and then we're gonna wait for the world to end because I think the world is gonna end on Christmas, maybe New Year's Eve, maybe this Halloween. I just want to be as paranoid as everybody else because apparently there's something in it and they're having fun with it and buying shit. And I'm just over here not buying anything, thinking about the rational cost of everything. So yeah, I think I'm going to be a crazy person prepper. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, trees and bushes, spoons and forks, shoes and socks. I will see you in the next one. Peace.